Professor,
Yeah.
can we start?
Once again, I will share my screen.
Yeah.
You can check once.
Yeah, please.
Sorry for the delay. So I don't know what's happening.
Sometimes it happens.
You can give the option to share.
Yeah, I have given you co-host. You could able to share the screen.
Okay, okay.
You could see the green signal, no? Green.
Yeah, I got it. I got it now.
That means it is enabled.
Yes, doctor. So it is done. So I hope so. It's coming now.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, doctor. So yeah, I think you can start now. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Professor, the total duration for the inaugural session is 1 hour.
Okay,
So,
okay. Sure.
a presentation, no, not more than 40 minutes.
No problem. No problem. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ritam, you can start.
Okay, sir. Okay. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. With the quote of Swami Vivekananda, let me tell you one thing, that during this COVID pandemic situations also, we are here because learning cannot be stopped. So we are all assembling here in this virtual mode during COVID pandemic. I must say that for every academicians, researchers, conference is a place where we can share our knowledge and technical innovations and expertise in the respective disciplines. With this, good morning to one and all present over here in this first international e-conference on emerging technologies, that is IECET 2020, held by Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, West Bengal, India. I, Mr. Ritam Datta, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, would like to welcome you all in this virtual auspicious gathering. With this note, I would like to welcome our respected Dadaji, Vidya Bharati Foundation, Provisy Ma'am, DPS Siliguri, and also welcome our steering committee members of IECET 2020. Our Chief Patron, Honorable Chairman, Mr. Sarath Agarwal, Patron, Honorable Director, Mrs. Snigdha Agarwal, Convener of this first international conference, Professor Dr. S. Nagarajan, Principal SIM, and all the respected head of the departments, faculty and staff members of SIM West Bengal, India. I welcome Dr. S. Umashankar as our chief guest of this morning session, Associate Professor, College of Engineering, Prince Sultan University, Saudi Arabia. And last but not the least, I welcome all valuable participants, academicians, researchers from across our nation and even abroad for giving their valuable technical research articles in this conference. I welcome from my bottom of my heart, from the entire SIM fraternity, all of you to this first international conference on emerging technologies. With this, I would like to welcome Principal Sir to say a few words and can officially open this virtual conference in the virtual platform. With this, I would like to welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ritam. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my dear colleagues. and students. I am pleased to welcome you all to the first international conference on emerging technologies. It is a matter of pride and immense pleasure that Destiny has given me the wonderful opportunity to join the SIM family as its head. I take this opportunity to thank all our governing body members of SIM for believing me and given this wonderful opportunity to lead this institution. On this occasion, I sincerely thank my friend and chief guest of today's inaugural session, Dr. Subramanian, Associate Editor, IEEE Access Journal, and Associate Professor of RE Lab of Prince Sultan University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for accepting our invitation. Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful presence to make this inaugural session more live. And I also welcome my mentor, Dr. Raj Subbiah. He's a senior technician in the field of hydro modeling. He is right now with Florida, USA. He is going to give a keynote address during the valedictory function of our inaugural, in our international conference today at 6:30 p.m. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Raj Subbiah for accepting our invitation. And I also welcome all the participants from our own institution and from other colleges, both inside and outside country, faculty members, supporting staff members, and my dear students, to IECET-2020, an international conference on emerging technology. It is a high time that such an event took place to highlight the remarkable contribution in the field of science, management, engineering, and its application in many areas of our lives. Some of the top emerging technologies I would like to highlight, this is based on the latest report. Some of the emerging technologies are IoT, artificial intelligence, 5G technology, serverless computing, blockchain, robotics, biometrics, 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, and drones. My appeal to all the younger people, graduates, apart from your basic degree, you should have some certification on these emerging technologies that will improve your employability. Therefore, please take up some certification or internship in this emerging technology so that you will get a very good opportunity in your field of specialization. And coming to this conference, we have decided to organize this conference 2 months before, because this is possible, this kind of short period is possible because of virtual conference. Otherwise, normally to conduct or organize international conference, we need to have at least 1 year full-fledged preparation. But because of that virtual platform, we could able to manage or organize such a wonderful international conference in the virtual mode within 2 months' time. So we have received overwhelming response from the research scholars, undergraduate students, and doctorates. So far, we have received 179 papers for our international conference, out of which we have shortlisted 65 papers for today's presentation. And during this conference, you can easily develop a great networking opportunity because because of virtual, we could able to interact with foreign delegates. Now we have invited 2 keynote speakers from outside country, and we have also received quite a number of papers from outside country. So during each paper presentation, you can exchange your ideas. You will get a lot of inputs from the chairperson, co-chairperson, not only from chair, co-chair. You can also get some good feedback and contribution, some suggestions from the peer member also. And most importantly for our own students, during this kind of presentation, you can develop your presentation skill, and this will, give confidence so that you can comfortably face in your final year Viva OC as well as for your campus recruitment. And another important benefit when you go for such a conference, mostly when we do any kind of research work, when we see some results, we are very much happy without knowing whether that results are correct or whether it is up to the mark or not. But when you present your work in such a conference, you will come to know that what are the strength and weakness, and what are the lapses you are having in your presentation or in the results, so that you can slowly improvise your paper, and later on you can submit your paper to the reputed journal for possible publication. So these are some of the advantages when you present your paper. And my simple advice to all the graduates: see, you have to choose your broad area when you complete your second year, and during third year, please do extensive literature survey, identify tentative title, because in latest 2019 IECET curriculum, IECET has come out with mini project in their 6th semester level and final year project during 8th semester. But in my point of view, 6 months period or 1 semester is not at all sufficient to take up or complete a full-fledged final year project. Therefore, my simple suggestion to all the undergraduate people, please take up your mini project as your preparatory work for your final year project. Then you start working on your final year project from 7th semester onwards, so that you can comfortably complete your simulation work or basic design part within 7th semester, and you can start implementing during your 8th semester, so that you can communicate your paper to conferences. Initially, it is advisable to go for conference presentation. So you can present your paper 1 or 2 conferences. After that, you can submit your paper for international journals. So in that case, there is a possibility of acceptance. So my appeal to all the students: please identify a project guide during your third year level, so that you can take up your project full-fledged during your final year. So with that small note, my advice to all the younger people: please take up this kind of paper presentation very sincerely and effectively. And overall, this kind of conferences will provide valuable opportunity for all the research scientists, industry specialists, and research scholars to share their experience. I am grateful to the many experts who have come to share their knowledge in our international conference, and I'm sure you will have a fruitful and rewarding exchanges in the next few hours. I wish you every success with this important conference, and I look forward to learning about the outcome. With this small speech, once again, I welcome you all for our international conference. I'm sure that you will feel proud of being associated with us and make us equally proud with your academic excellence. All the best for your future endeavors. Have a great day. Thank you all. Over to Mr. Ritham.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Principal Sir, for your valuable speech. Now I would like to ask Mr. Santosh Saha, Assistant Professor from Computer Science and Engineering, to introduce our chief guest.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning to one and all present in International E-Conference on Emerging Technology, IECET 2020. My name is Santosh Saha, and I am an Assistant Professor at Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, Siliguri. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome and introduce our chief guest, Dr. Uma Shankar Subramanian. Dr. Uma Shankar Subramanian is an Assistant Professor in Renewable Energy Lab at College of Engineering, Prince Sultan University, Saudi Arabia. He had 15 plus years of experience in teaching, research, and R&D. Previously, he worked as Associate Professor and Head at VIT Vellore, as well as a Senior R&D and Senior Application Engineer in the field of power electronics, renewable energy, and electrical drives. He is an Associate Editor in IEEE Access. He is a Senior Member of IEEE, PES, IAS, PACS, YP, and IS team. He has taken charge as Vice Chairperson in IEEE Madras section and Chairperson in IEEE student activities from year 2018 to 2020. He was Executive Member for the year 2014 to 16 and Vice Chairperson of IEEE Madras Mass Young Professional from the year 2017 to 19 by IEEE Madras section. He has published more than 250 research papers a national and international journal and conferences. He has also authored, co-authored, contributed 12 book chapters and 12 technical articles on power electronic application in renewable energy and allied area. He is an editor of Helion, a renowned Elsevier journal, and various other reputed journals. He has received Danfoss Innovator Award Mentor during the year 2014-15 and 2017-18. He has also received Research Award from VIT University during the year 2013 to 18. Also, he have received INAE Summer Research Fellowship for the year 2014. He has guided 24 PG students and more than 25 UG students. And 6 PhD scholar has completed doctoral theses under his guidance. He is also involved in collaborative research projects with various international and national level organizations and research institutions. So I formally welcome you, sir. Dr. Umashankar Subramaniam, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope so. All of you can hear my audio, voice. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. I'll proceed. So, is it my turn to proceed or any other?
You can continue, sir.
Okay, okay. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the convener and the entire team of this IECET-2020 conference on cutting edge technologies for the great success and great initiative as well, because this is the one which is going to rule in the post-COVID scenario. So I hope so. This theme is giving a lot of opportunities for the researchers, students, and the faculty members to share their experience and share their findings as well as a publication. And as the principal said, so I hope so. All we need to focus on these kind of technologies, as well as something like Make in India product. It should become the dream come true. And why I'm telling this point is, even though being a faculty as well as a researcher, so we are publishing and we are filing some patent, okay, but nothing is going to be useful, okay, unless otherwise it is going and reaching the final end user, okay, as a product or as a application, then it is very well useful. Otherwise, it's nothing useful. Everything will be in the paper, right? So that's the reason. If you look at most of the countries after the post-COVID scenario, they are focusing on mainly their own product. Okay, so that's the major scenario. It's a turning point, especially post-COVID scenario. Even here in Saudi Arabia, they are encouraging making Saudi products instead of importing from other countries. So if this is the scenario, so all of us as engineers, we should focus on how we can develop our own product inside the local. Okay, so it's so-called localization. How is it possible? So what are the skills we need to acquire? Okay, so this is very, very important nowadays. And apart from your academic activities as well as other activities, so this is very important now and need of the hour. Okay, so that's why this cutting edge technologies is very important to you guys as young students, so you can learn and you can incorporate. And that's the reason Indian government is taking a lot of effort to give a publicity for organizing events like hackathons, okay, and many events. Okay, they are calling for AICTE, calling for some project proposal and project submission from the student side, and every state has the science and technology unit, and they are also calling for this innovation or project proposals from the students. So if this is the case, so how we can upgrade our skill is please look, watch what's happening outside world, and we need to upgrade as well as update ourselves. Okay, so that's why, so I'm just going to give some brief idea about what are the skill set and what is the cutting edge technology which is going to rule in the near future, especially the post-COVID scenario. I apologize myself for the just initial 10 minutes delay in joining this Zoom. Though we are talking about the technologies, but technologies we need to still upgrade. Okay, so there is some hiccups will be there. So, but at the same time, this is going to be the very helpful one. So before going to this, so what we are, we are from the Renewable Energy Lab. We are focusing on the high quality research, and especially if you look at it, so we are focusing on the scientific consultancy to the national and international industry. So this is what our mission and objectives. If you look at, so we are focusing on a healthy research environment and solid expertise in the field of renewable energy with cutting edge technology. So though we are specifically from electrical and power engineering domain, but we are also focusing on the cutting edge technologies related our application to energy sector. And we are working towards the Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia. So how in India we have a Make in India vision. So similarly, every country now they incorporate it. Okay. For example, for all these individual countries' vision, if you look at, there is a one common goal called United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Maybe you can look at later in the Google, UN 2030 goal. So that is the primary vision. So based on that only, every country is deploying their own vision. Okay. So these are the objectives for the Renewable Energy Lab in our case. Our goals, like short term, we are planning to have some renewable energy and smart grid development, and in the midterm, we are planning to incorporate EV in the 5 years term, and for a long term, so we are planning to involve ourselves in the green EV charging infrastructure. So I hope so. The same topic I have given the last time in the SCIEM, one of the faculty development program, and I clearly told, means we were talking, right? And suddenly, if you look at all the government has initiated the EV charging infrastructure policies, and they have released the policy, and especially if you take almost all the states in India, they have introduced this policy. And now, if you look at many commercial vehicles like four-wheelers as well as the electric buses, so you can see now it's electric. Okay, so if this is the scenario, you can see that during this COVID scenario, all these things has been introduced. Okay, so that's the one important thing. And another thing, if you look at it, is some companies, okay, some industries in India, they have gained the profit in terms of millions. Okay, so that's the scenario happened. And regarding our track, so we are focusing on standalone and grid connected solar PV, and track 2 with EV and different converters for the charging for the batteries in the EV. And track 3, if you look at it, so why we are focusing on this is because in the future, mostly we depend on the technologies, not only the electrical part or electronic part. So we are mainly focusing on how we can integrate this technologies, especially for smart grid, EV as well as the smart cities, okay, smart home and smart cities. In the Middle East, if you look at, now they started focusing on, for example, you take the real estate, okay. So the real estate, so they started focusing on incorporating the smart home, okay. So whenever they build any infrastructure, so they are giving a much attention on how they make it as a smart home, okay. And they have a policy as well, okay. So they have introduced the policy that all the future homes should be of smart home, okay. So that means it has to generate its own electricity, and it should have a very good energy efficiency products inside. For example, the air conditioner, then all other home electrical equipments, okay, microwave oven or electric oven, okay. So all those kind of things should be of very good energy efficiency. So the same thing will be what we call in India is star rating, okay, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star rating, okay. And so the world is going towards this. So just imagine, so we are, if we are in the same old concept, same old topic, then we cannot update ourselves. We cannot run along with the entire world, okay. So entire world is moving towards this kind of technology. So we have to update ourselves. So these are the research platforms we are working on it. So now I am moving to the agenda of this keynote address on different technologies and platforms for where we can use it, especially the post-COVID situation in terms of energy, industry, and environment. So when you carefully look at it, so we are focusing on these 4 things. One is hardware. So hardware means mostly it's sensors and the measurement actuators. Okay, so these things is going to be much more in the near future, and focusing on this is very, very important. Then Internet of Things, yes, IP-based enterprises will grow more, okay, and because of this, we are going to connect all the things with this IP. Okay, for example, you take the electric vehicle, or you take power sector, or you take the automotive industry. Okay, many things they are going to connect with this Internet of Things, and it is going to control the all of the devices in the near future. So for Internet of Things, we need the software and security. So we need to focus on this particular technology because security is very, very important nowadays, because you know very well, even the Zoom itself, Zoom application itself, it has a lot of negative issues happened in the recent past, and hope so now they have rectified this, because there is a threat for the personal safety and security of this particular documents, whatever we share it through the Zoom. Okay, so in the near future, this is going to be a much attention. So maybe the students can focus on this particular area, is very, very important. Then another one is the big data and analytics. So hereafter, we are going to talk about data only. Data. That's it. So that means we are going to deal with completely with the data. Okay. You take the Facebook, or you take the Zoom, or you take the Google Meet, or anything you take it. So everything is because of the data. So the data analytics is going to be the very big business market in the near future. Okay. And big data and AI is a combination. So where in the near future, almost all the companies in India, if you look at, so they have already have this particular division. So they started focusing on this as well. Okay, you take the top companies like Infosys, TCS, and HCL. So many such companies, and apart from the Microsoft and the Google, so already they have incorporated this kind of technology. So they are going to work with. Okay, so big data is another important platform in the near future. So expertise in this particular field is very, very important. And for the learning purposes, you have a lot of open access softwares available for the big data analytics. So you can have a look at. Okay. For example, I have given 5 top open source big data processing framework. For example, Hadoop, Spark, Apache, Storm, and Samza. So these are the things. So these are the software, so you can freely work on it. So that you can upgrade yourself. Okay. Then Hadoop is the one important thing. So where it is a strong and sophisticated tool for the big data analytics. So hopefully many industries they are using this. That's why I have taken Hadoop from this and I have shown this. Okay, and this is one of the important software in the big data analytics. And if you take a look at the Hadoop, so now the MATLAB itself is the most famous application tool for the engineers to work on it. So MATLAB has now, it has this inbuilt integration with the Hadoop as well. So you can use this Hadoop for integrating with the MATLAB as well. And so you can do all your research as well as the consultancy works in this. And another important technology is the Internet of Things. So you guys think that Internet of Things is new? No, it's not at all new, and it is a very old technology which is introduced long back in the airplane, okay, in the year 1990s, and in satellite and tracking, okay. And later on, if you look at it, has been incorporated in the cell phone tower, utility meter, home alarm system, and wireless as well as the watches, okay. And now if you look at everywhere, you are using the Internet of Things. So you are just using your mobile phone and you are controlling all your home equipments. Okay, nowadays, earlier we used different remotes. Now your smartphone enough to operate all the things. So this is the drastic change we have seen, right? So instead of using different remote control options, so now you have this single option, right? So this is the drastic change happened, and the technology is growing like anything, okay. Almost if you look at comparing in the 1990s to 2000, in 2000 to 2010, there is a drastic change happened, and 2010 to 2020, if you look at, entire technology is completely changed. Okay, so whatever I studied, whatever the way I have used in the home equipments, and whatever the way I handle in the educational institution, so now it's completely changed. So everybody is tuned to this online technologies, okay, and the latest technologies. Another important aspect is the machine learning algorithm, okay, apart from the IoT. Okay, this is the third one you guys need to focus, because everywhere this is a crazy word, okay, they are using it, okay. Even if you look at the engineers as well as the students, so even for the namesake, they used to say that I know machine learning. So this is the trend now, okay. So not only in terms of mouth, you should say that you know only the machine learning, better to apply this machine learning in your application, okay, either it is a computer science, a mechanical or electrical or communication engineering. So it's better to utilize this machine learning algorithm very well, so that you can participate in many of the contests as well as the programs which is offered by the Indian government, like UGC, IECET, and other reputed agencies, okay. So that's the focus. And why this is a focus? Because it's a traditional mathematical algorithm. So now we call in a trending way like computer vision, data science, machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing, okay. So these are the trending buzzwords, okay, and this is going to be the near future. That's what it has been predicted, okay. And next thing is the climate change. So we are talking about climate change, and even if you look at during this COVID-19 situation, so they used to say that from Punjab they are able to see its Himalayas is visible. So this is the talk of the town happened. And even in Saudi here, they said that they are able to see the Bahrain, okay, that is over the seas, okay. So this kind of talk it is now, if you look at, it has been raised by many countries as well as the United Nations as well. So that's the reason, if you look at the United Nations developed the goal called Sustainable Development Goal. So in that they are focusing on all these things. Okay, so the goals are around 1 to 17, total 17 goals, and each goal is focusing on each aspect. Okay, starting from food and education, then energy, technology, okay, partnerships. So everything they are focusing on. So one of the focus on a sustainable development goal is this energy. Okay, how you will take care of this climate change by introducing the sustainable energies. Okay, now you can start using this cutting edge technologies like big data and AI. Okay, and IoT. So how you can handle this? Okay, so how you can improvise the sustainable development and deploy it. Okay, so every country, if you look at, they have a vision by 2030. So by 2030, so everybody, they are planning to incorporate more sustainable way of what is it? Generation of electrical energy, or consuming the electrical power, or sustainable living as well. Okay, so how we can make it sustainable living, okay, in the year 2030 by using this cutting edge technologies is another important focus. Okay, then when you look at so whatever we have seen in the renewable energy, so even wind energy, or if you look at smart grid or smart energy management. Okay, so everywhere their focus is on how we can go with a sustainable way of generation and consumption, and how we can conserve the energy. Okay, and if you look at in most of the places, so they are focusing on energy efficiency management. Okay, so not only we build the house and we use all the electrical equipments just like that. Instead of that, why not we focus on how we can save the energy for the future and for the future generation? Because recently I have seen one video and article about what will happen to the world in 2040, 2050, and 2100. Okay, so they have predicted like all the natural resources will vanish. Okay, every 10 years they predicted, because the climate change, every 10 years, if you look at, there is a sharp rise in the temperature, and because of that, Arctic and Antarctic region is completely melting down, and this will create a lot of impact. It's something like a COVID-19, how we are facing the issue, right? So we thought like COVID-19 was in China, so and now it is entirely collapsed the world. Okay, so the same thing we have to take care about regarding the climate change, because we think that somewhere the climate is increasing, somewhere the temperature is rising. If we think like that, then definitely the entire world will be spoiled. So we need to use this cutting edge technologies, and how maximum you can save the energy and incorporate the sustainable way of generation and living. Okay. Advanced energy, if you look at even National Institute of Wind Energy in Chennai, okay, so which is very close to your institution in the same road. So if you look at, they are also focusing on this kind of technologies, and Nive is one of the pioneer in incorporating all these things. So they're focusing on IoT and blockchain technology and P2P and TE markets. That means a market prediction and demand response and demand side management. So all these things they are focusing on most of the industries. They already incorporated this. Okay. And another important thing is how we can utilize the natural resources like solar, wind, and so suppose if you want no fluctuation in the energy, so you can think of using this battery storage technologies as well. Okay, So the Nivea is the pioneer. So they already incorporated one pilot project in Kayathar in Tirunelveli. So if you look at it, so they focus on solar as well as the wind and energy storage as well. Okay, so these are going to be the near future. So you can look at here. Without this IoT, blockchain, AI, it could not be possible to have this incorporation in the near future. Okay. Then mathematical models, so based on the fuzzy, then neural networks, so many things. So it's giving a much importance in the near future for the solar prediction, or if you take the wind speed resource assessment, so many applications they are going to use this. Then when you look at the automotive industry, so automotive is drastic change is going to happen because Indian government, they already issued the policy by 2025 as well as 2030. So they are going to be complete two-wheeler as well as a complete four-wheeler of electric in nature. So if this is the scenario, so when you look at it, so there is a plenty of opportunities for the engineers. Okay, I mean the engineers means all the engineers. Okay. Whether if you are a mechanical engineer, you have plenty of opportunities to work on it, and if you are an electrical engineer, you have furthermore opportunities because they predicted like in the near future it's completely of electric vehicles. So to overcome this kind of fossil fuel issues as well as climate change issues. Okay, so your focus should be on this particular technologies. And recently, you might have heard like a Google and many companies like a Tesla. So they have already introduced the concept called autonomous vehicle or connected cars. Then advanced driver authorization systems, they call it as ADA. Then, for example, I given one important point like everything will be monitored in a vehicle. Okay, so the previous slides I have shown many things. Here, one example is the tire pressure monitoring systems to avoid the accident systems. Okay, in AI-based telecom application, so telecom is growing like anything nowadays. So there is a lot of business happening on 5G technology has been incorporated just now, but now they're focusing on 7G as well as 9G. Even it's beyond. Okay, so by the NASA. So if you look at it, why the technology they need, because they introduce this connected car, then autonomous vehicle. So these vehicle and all, it is operating in the open space. So, and not only open space throughout the world. So it has to travel in the remote places as well as in the urban region. So they need a very good communication technology. Okay, and fast. Not only very good, fast communication technology in order to interact with the cars, between the cars as well as between the control center and the car. So a lot of quick information transfer need to happen. So if this is the case, just imagine whatever the technology we discussed, like a big data, 5G, etc. That's the reason why everywhere the transition is happening. Okay, in aerospace, if you look at earlier, it was nothing. It's completely based on the hydraulic technology and few parts about the electrical technology. Then IT enabled. Okay, but now it is completely IT enabled, and they are focusing on more technology oriented things in the aerospace domain, and that's the reason these companies, they have set up their R&D units in India, especially. So they need many expertise engineers, okay, in this particular domain. So that is a good opportunity for the future engineers as well. Okay. Smart technology, when you look at, you have a lot of opportunities, not only in Middle East, I hope so in the near future, within 1 or 2 years in Asian region or in many other Southeast Asia, or when you look at Europe side, okay, Europe side and Western side, which is already developed. Okay, but in the Southeast Asia, especially if you look at this technology is going to rule the world, and especially the building automation, wind turbine automation, and smart grid, smart solar panel, smart inverter, smart elevator. So like that, you have a lot of opportunities. Okay, and especially when you look at in India, especially the places like Chennai, okay, so where you have a lot of IT hub, and there is a requirement for the lot of infrastructure, a lot of building, okay, and a lot of shopping mall and IT corridors. So wherever you have the growth, okay, so definitely these technology is very important. And another important thing is like healthcare industry. So after this COVID-19, everybody talking about this healthcare, not only IECET, UGC, and MHRD. So everywhere there is a talk. Like you take a hospital, they have the social distancing, they have the robot, they are using it, and they are using some sort of technologies for the registration without any receptionist. And even nowadays, if you look at there is a computer-enabled testing for the COVID-19, and computer-enabled testing for any other things. Okay, just it will take the photo and it records the video. And even if you look at most of the big cities, okay, if you look at, you have a very good what is it, computer enabled monitoring system for the social distancing and for recording the by using thermal imaging camera, it will record the temperature, okay, in the society or group of people. So just imagine, so these are the technologies now going to rule the world. Apart from the COVID-19, you have a lot of opportunities to work on technologies like telemedicine, okay, then cancer treatments, okay, so identifying the cancer. And this is the month for the breast cancer, okay, and so we need to give a lot of exposure to all the women in your family as well as in the society to have a very good monitoring and checking of the breast cancer, okay, which is going to be the severe one, okay. And apart from that, you have a better opportunities to work on the biomedical technologies, okay. That means IT-enabled biomedical technologies, where you incorporate your engineering concepts in this, and you can work in this particular field with the smartness. Okay, so this is going to be the another one, like industry robotics. Recently, you know very well, not only robotics but also the drones. That played a huge role during this COVID-19. Not only COVID-19, immediately after the COVID-19, you know very well, there is a insects issue happened, right? Locust. So the locust, to control the locust, even some companies, they have introduced that how they can spray the things, okay, in the locust. So that also they have tried in India. And not only that, during this COVID-19, so they have incorporated many robots in the hospitals, okay. And especially in the factories, if you look at some critical applications like arc welding purpose, they use these robots. Especially if you look at the Inaugural coach factory in Chennai, so they are using this, okay. And another thing is the automatic monitoring and control system. So where they need much attention because it requires accurate results, measurement, and it is often non-invasive, and it is a standardized one. So you have a lot of opportunities to work in this domain as well. Environmental and disaster mitigation application, this is very much useful, all these technologies, because how you can predict it, and so how accurately you will predict it, okay. So for example, suddenly there is a very heavy rain and suddenly there is a drought. So how you can accurately predict this, how you can predict this tsunami, okay, and how you can predict the earthquake, how you can predict the landslide, especially the places like your college and your location. So it is very prone for this heavy rain as well as this kind of natural calamities. So how you can predict this? So by using this latest technology, so you can think of this. And finally, when you look at the banking application, so nowadays the banks are using this kind of cutting edge technologies. So it has its own server, it has its own data, okay, and how intelligently they are handling the data. Often you will get the message like you want a loan, okay. Suppose in your account, if some amount is credited, immediately you will get a message called you want a loan or not. Okay, so this is kind of intelligence. They are using it, and they are using these technologies. Okay, so these are the opportunities for the engineers as well, because most of the banks, if you look at nowadays, they are giving opportunities for the engineers. Okay, or you can say that many engineers, they are much interested to join in the bank. Okay, so they are writing the bank exams nowadays. Instead of BCom and BSc students, now the engineering students, they are much preferring this kind of job, and you have this lot of opportunities in the near future. So with this, I hope so how the technology is going to change, and especially there is a drastic change happened from 2000 to 2010, 2010 to 2020, and if you look at 2020 to 2030, it's very, very, very enormous change will going to happen, and you are the person or the people you are going to see. Okay, with this, I would like to thank the management for giving me the opportunity for sharing how technology is going to change. Okay, and what we need to do. So how we can update ourselves or adapt ourselves to learn the new technology. So that's why the people in industry, they will say like learn and unlearn and learn. Unlearn the old things and learn the new things. So this is the one of the keyword they are using in the industry. So with this, I would like to conclude my session and the keynote address. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Professor.
So now I would like to request Ms. Nirmika ma'am to say the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Ritam sir. Henry Ford said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether this happens at 20 or at 80. Anyone who keeps on learning not only remains young, but becomes constantly more valuable, regardless of physical capacity. Well, thank you very much. This day cannot go without thanking our management, our president of the Vidya Bharati Foundation, Mr. Rambildas Agarwal, Pro VC ma'am, Mrs. Kamlesh Agarwal, Chairman sir, Mr. Sharad Agarwal, and our director ma'am, Mrs. Snigdha Agarwal, and principal sir, Dr. S. Nagarajan, for giving us this wonderful platform of learning today. I would also like to thank Dr. Umar Shankar Subramaniam for his wonderful address. And I would also like to thank all the attendees, the participants who have, the staff of SIEM who have attended this inaugural session. Well, this is just the beginning of IECET 2020. So this entire day is dedicated to learning, and let us have a great day of learning. Before we move on to our respective rooms for the paper presentation, I request everyone to please fill up the attendance link that has been shared in the chat. You may now, after logging out from this particular meeting, you may log into your respective rooms for your paper presentation. I request all the students of SIEM also to join their respective departments for the paper presentation. Please note, all the participants it's mandatory for you to attend the valedictory session, which begins at 6:30 in the evening, but then you're requested to start joining the room at about 6:15 p.m. And a feedback link will be shared with all of you tomorrow. And on the basis of the feedback link, a certificate of participation will be provided to all the participants. On this note, I would like to thank all the entire August presence for joining us this morning. Let's have a great day of learning. All the best to all those who are presenting their paper today. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.